but two dreams. And it wasn't my dream, it was her dream. It's not what you think. After the second dream, Tracy said to me, I dreamt of a green wolf on our property, in the woods, twice in the last 2 nights. At the time, that girl with the long hair at the end of our table was inside of the other person who had those 2 dreams. So she was having very interesting dreams. And I said, that kind of goes well with Brewing Company. Because at the time, I was just starting to work on the business plan for the place we're in right now. And I was struggling to find a name. And I said, Green Wolf Brewing Company, a spirit wolf in our woods, plus Brewing Company. Let's work with it. And then soon thereafter, I learned, and you can look at the partly covered up logo here, that the Latin word for hops comes from the Latin word for wolf. And I didn't know that at the time that she had a dream, and it all kind of made sense after the fact. Sometimes in life, things make sense after the fact. In fact, I think a lot of life kind of spools out that way, because you can make plans, but you don't know what those plans will bring out. And those plans, we're all here today, tonight, because of dreams. It's been 10 years, y'all. Well, actually, for some of us, it's been a little more than 10 years.
11.
Well, frankly, so my daughter just turned 13, and I started the business plan before the year, about 8 months before she was born. So it was been inside of me in some form for over 13 years. But for practically speaking, it's been a decade. It's been a hell of a thing. It's been a wild ride. I want to thank my parents-in-law, Barb and Chuck Manning, who have donated so much of their time and resources for the first many years of this place.
But without it, I could never have been a bartender.
That's right. That's right.
Who would have thought we would have been bartenders?
And I want to thank Tracy and Avon, my wife and daughter, who have been so important to helping me stay sane through all of the good times and the hard times. Kayla, you've been a friend and an ally and an employee, and I thank you, man. You, dear friend.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And I want to shout out to Mark and the band, too, for being here. Mark, you've been a great musical presence in my life for the last handful of years, and it's a long drive for y'all, and you got great original music, and I appreciate it so much. Rob and Ray, thank you for being here and doing what you're doing. It's so much, and I know and you know.
We do.
The dream continues.
Yes, the dream continues. I don't have anything else to say. It's been foundational for me, and I'm just so glad that you're all here and that we're all still here. This is your place, and I'm gonna give the open forum to my friend here, Robert.
Having the dream, that table, for bringing it to fruition, right, for the first 9 to 11 or 12 years that it came through. And we're all here today because collectively, right, we have chosen to make sure that that dream lives on. Right? That's very important that we put that up there. And so I've only been coming to the Green Wolf for 1 year, almost to the day. So January 4th, I walked into this bar. I've been invited by Adrian and Brad to come here, and I stood right in that corner, right, talking with them, and it changed. It's not an over-dramatization to say that it changed my life. Right, first person I met was Nate Hudson, which introduced me to this entire table. Right, the next generation, the Dream Wolf kind of coming up and flourishing. The second person I met in this bar was Bernie, our brewer. Right, and I don't think I've seen Bernie come in tonight, but We owe him a great round of applause for the great beer that he's bringing out. Dire Wolf is soft launching tonight, so if you have some, raise a glass for that, but carefully, because that thing pulled 12.4% ABV. You need to be very careful with it. So 8-ounce pours and watch it. And the third person I met was Rema. And Rema has been extremely influential, obviously, in my life, but also in the pub that is continuing to live on after last April, right? And I think most of us are very aware of the fact that last April was a very pivotal time for this pub, right? So the pub was going to shut down, it was going out of business, right? And luckily, I didn't believe in fate a year and a half ago. It's very hard to not believe in it now, right? I came to that pub at just the right time, with just the right collection of resources and friends to say, I don't know what I'm doing, but I can't imagine this place not continuing, and I'm gonna give it a shot. And so I stepped in. Rema's great entrepreneurship has been a huge bonus from that standpoint, and we've relied very heavily on the community to keep it going, because that community is why we're here and why I chose to step in and become the owner investor to keep this moving forward. It is a community, and it lived on because it was a community. That's what I saw, that's what resonated with me. And when you look around here, right, and we've got our new bar staff here. We got Andrew, Stephanie, who's keeping the lights on as our head bartender. Angelique now on board, right, with the mimosas on Sunday. And we're opening a new chapter as that comes through. But when you look around the pub tonight and see it going forward, I do want to take a moment and recognize what Rema has done to contribute to this place, right? And everything from the improved systems that keeps it clean, right? And we have opening and closing procedures to, it's just the stuff that keeps the bar going, right? We've got the drink menu, the new cooler, frankly, the new staff, the great merch. All of that has been designed by Rema and came from her, right? And so I know that at many times I'm like the face of Green Wolf. Bullshit. Rema keeps this place running, okay? So please, a round of applause for Rema. And it goes beyond that. So as the summer went on last year, and I have a seasonal job, Rema has a seasonal job, work started to pick up, we needed a lot of help to keep it going from a bar manager standpoint. We called on Caleb again to return to the reins of being bar manager, and he stepped back up. And this place literally would not still be going if it wasn't for Caleb. The second time. So thank you, Caleb. And now as we're heading into this next chapter, many of you were at a meeting a week or so ago where we put out a call for help. I've got a full-time job, more than a full-time job. So does Rema. We need help to keep this place going. Green Wolf is different than other bars for a lot of reasons, right? We see that every single open mic, which you would never see anywhere else in the county. It's a unique and beautiful thing, what we create here every other Thursday. But the Green Wolf doesn't make money. It doesn't, okay? And so to keep this place going, it depends on the community to make it happen. And we're closing that gap, right? And that's what the role that I stepped in to come in and close that gap to make it more sustainable. In the meantime, because I have the full-time job, we're gonna continue to rely on that community. So many of you have stepped up to take larger roles and help us out in the non-essential but absolutely essential tasks of running the bar. And so to all of our volunteer and committee heads, please, you know who you are. You'll be public as he kind of takes on. Thank you for all the work that you're doing, and I thank you very much for that. So as the festivities go on tonight, for the tables, we want to have a little bit of fun with it. I came in just a year ago. I don't know Green Wolf as well as literally all of you know Green Wolf. And so we put out to our new event committee and said, what can we do to make this more festive? And there's some green cards here. I'll hand them out to the tables. If you have a favorite story about Green Wolf, a favorite memory, you can have more than one, jot them down, right? We'll hang them up on the clotheslines here, the little confetti lines here. I want to read them, right? And I want each of you to also read them and remind ourselves about why this place is so special and why it is so beautiful to come here. That would be a huge boon to me and frankly to the community. So we'll be handing those out and we'll be hanging them up there. I think Alicia has some chips for us as we go around. We also have an amazing spread here of desserts, so thank you Marie and Jim and Jesse and others and Joanne who have brought them in. Lobster mac, right? My goodness. Woo. Very good. We're getting fancy tonight. Help yourselves to that. Enjoy the amazing music that Mark and the band are bringing here tonight. And again, thank you for the community that you have all built, that I fell in love with, and that we are continuing to build together, and that Green Wolf can continue to live on into this next chapter. So thank you very much.
If you have an extra $1 or two, definitely, your bartender and your band, there are 2 different places to give little donations.
You're here. Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Cheers. Cheers.